Hi everyone, Misilla here, Learn to Grow. I hope that you're having a good day. Just want to share a couple of tips on pruning and harvesting your herbs. Hope you find this helpful. This is oregano, and just want to show you that it's about to flower. Let me give you a closer look. You'll notice that the new leaves are much smaller when herbs are about to flower, and you'll also see flower buds in the middle. Here's a sprig that I pinched off from another oregano plant, and you can see the difference between the two. This one's not flowering yet. If you plan on drying herbs, it's best to harvest them now before they blossom. Otherwise, it'll deplete the plants of compounds that give them their aroma and flavor. This stage is still a great time to harvest before the flower buds open up. During this time, the plant is producing more compounds that give them their aroma, especially the flowers. It's best to harvest your herbs in the morning before the heat of the day. That's when they contain the most compounds. Since this oregano is flowering, I usually pinch or cut right above 2 leaf nodes. As long as you don't cut back more than a third of your plant, it shouldn't hurt them. This one is lavender. Once the flower starts to fade, you can cut it back up to 2/3 of the plant. As you can see, the flower stalks are long. This one is lemon balm. Never let this go to seed. I've learned my lesson. It'll take over your garden. It is a very prolific plant. This is also about to flower. As you can see, the new leaves are much smaller and are about to develop some flower buds. So right now is a good time to harvest this as well for drying. Lemon balm can be cut back up to a third of the plant, but sometimes I even cut it back to the ground, and I always see some new shoots at the bottom. This froth here is produced by a spittle bug. It's actually the nymph of a spittle bug or frog hopper. They don't do much damage to lemon balm, but they do spread a pathogen that can decimate certain plants. Here's sage, tarragon right in between the sage and the chives. We have Corsican mint grown as a ground cover, although it is edible. Here's a raised bed with golden oregano, thyme, lemon balm, yarrow, and lavage. This lavage is bolting right now or flowering, and it is about 9 feet tall. Let me give you a better look of how tall this is. They usually grow to about 5 feet when they bolt. It's pretty amazing. We have rosemary there to the left. Here's parsley, is about to bloom. This was planted last year. Parsley is a biennial, so it flowers and goes to seed on its second season. And this is Italian flatleaf parsley. Here's the Corsican mint. Smells so good. This one is sweet bay or bay leaf. It was over 10 feet tall. Unfortunately, the top had died back due to our cold winter. It's supposed to be hardy to USDA Zone 8B, but it got down to single digits. Right behind the bay leaf is sweet chervil or sweet cicely. It's in the carrot family. It's a medicinal herb. The whole plant is edible. You can eat the leaves, taste like licorice, the roots, as well as the seeds. The seeds also have a licorice flavor and is a great breath freshener. This one is bronze fennel. Smells so good. I just love the colors. This is good for aiding in digestion, relieving gas, and so much more. This one is hardy to USDA Zone 5. So I'm going to circle back to the sage. Some of the flowers are starting to fade, some of them are turning brown. And when you cut back the flower stalks, you can cut it back all the way down to a pair of leaf nodes, or about up to a third of the plant. So I'm going to cut at an angle, and you want to make sure that you take most of the internode out so it doesn't rot. So as you can see, there are some new leaves right there. These are leaf nodes. So these will grow side stems, which will also grow into a bushier plant and promote healthier growth. Sage will usually flower at least 2 to 3 times per season. If you'd like to harvest more leaves, just make sure to keep pinching it back, which will again promote side branching so you'll get a bushier plant, but will also promote new healthy growth. Here are the chives that we allowed to flower for the pollinators. Now, as soon as the flowers start to dry, make sure to cut them back, and you can cut back the plants about 2 to 3 inches from the ground. Chives will regrow and they regenerate pretty fast. Here's a faded chive flower head. Now, if you'd like to save seeds, you can leave them to mature and let them dry some more. But don't let them go to seed unless you don't mind them growing throughout your garden. I'm going to go ahead and cut this back so I can show you how to do it. And we have some nice leaf blades here that we can use. Now, the flower stalks are not going to be tender. Although you can dehydrate them, they still have that chive aroma, and that could be used for seasoning. So you can cut about 2 to 3 inches from the ground level. Smells so good. These 10 flower stalks were from the flower heads that I harvested a few weeks ago. Chive greens are so delicious. They are great in salads, scrambled eggs, pizza toppings, sandwiches. I'm going to be making chive salt out of these, so make sure to stay tuned. So that should regrow to about 12 inches or so in about 2.5 to 3 weeks. It's only been 3 days since I cut back this clump of chives. Here are the other 3 that I cut back. As long as you plant them in full sun, in well-draining and fertile soil, they will do well. These 2 were cut back twice already, once in spring and again just a few days ago. If you're planting new transplants, make sure to allow them to establish in the first 2 to 3 months. And you can cut them back about 2 to 3 times in its first season. After that, you can harvest them as needed or even cut them back every 6 to 8 weeks in its second and the following seasons. Here are more herbs that we grow. This is Bergarten sage. I love the periwinkle flowers. And that one's rosemary. Have some dieback there from the winter. And this one here is Spanish lavender. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like me to do an herb garden tour, please let me know in the comments below. Check out these alliums. This variety is called Star of Persia. The flower heads can get up to 10 inches in diameter, except the one that I picked the other day was about 11 inches across. Thanks for watching. Happy gardening. A number of these herbs were featured in my book, 4 Season Food Gardening. Hope you check it out. Thanks for your support.